Hello everyone, happy Saturday. So I think it was last weekend or last week I did a video on embodying the divine feminine or embodying divine feminine energy, and I said I was going to do a video on embodying divine masculine. So that's what we're doing today. Next week on Tuesday we're going to do Taurus compatibility and how to attract a Taurus, and on Friday I'm going to do a video on self-love, how to cultivate or embody self-love. And I'm thinking maybe for the time being, maybe every Friday I'll do like a similar type of video. I think the one after that I want to do is about self-sabotaging behavior. So, let's get started on embodying divine masculine energy. So, divine feminine energy and divine masculine energy, it has nothing to do with gender. So, I wouldn't be surprised, but I'm just letting you know that now before you go in the comments and say, well, what would you know about divine masculine? You're a woman. Again, nothing to do with whether you're a man or a woman. It's just energy. So, let's get started. So, first thing when it comes to embodying the divine masculine is stability. My notes. An affirmation: I can express stability by prioritizing my basic needs, which is home, career, and family. A lot of people, there's an imbalance there. Either they're more focused on their home and family, or they're more focused on work. So there has to be that balance, okay? You go to your job and you earn money, you're the breadwinner, typically, nowadays, both sides. So you have to look at it. If you're a physical woman and you're going out there and earning a paycheck, that is embodying your masculine side. Okay? So it's prioritizing your home, career, and family. However, it's an equal balance between home, career, and family. Okay? It's not putting one of those above the other. Because a lot of people, workaholics, right? They prioritize work over family. So it's the balance of work, home, and family, and having that as a priority over other things in your life. So the next point is rules. I can establish rules for my life, such as deal breakers and boundaries. Yes, it's very important to embody rules in your life. What do you tolerate? What do you not tolerate? It's the same with women, right? With the feminine. We have to establish boundaries. What are we willing to compromise with? What are we not willing to compromise with? But these rules also have to be what is best for me in regards to work and family. So if you have a full-time job and taking care of your family, and your buddies want to go out and let's go out drinking and let's go out and do other things, and it conflicts with your job or your family, it's about saying, you know what? Not saying that you can't go out and have a good time. That is not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is moderation. If you're like, oh yeah, hey, I could go out and have a couple beers, hang out. Yeah, that's fine. But let's go get hammered. Let's go get high, whatever. That's where you need to stop and say, is this something that's going to conflict with home, family, or my career? Okay. However, choose the action, choose the consequences, right? If you're like, oh, F it, I'm going to go out and get hammered. Well, that's going to come with consequences, either being hungover the next day, coming home, and your partner is not happy with it, and it's like, I don't mind you going out with your friends and stuff, but I don't like the fact that you get hammered when you go out with your friends. Okay? So deal breakers and boundaries. So it's about establishing those boundaries. And making the best decision for your life. Even if your friends are like, oh man, come on. You're with the boys now, or girls, because divine masculine energy could be a female. Oh, you're with your friends, or hanging out, having a good time. Let's get, wasted. You have to really take a step back and say, if you're in a relationship, saying, is this something my partner would be okay with? Me getting hammered with my friends. Typically, if your partner's like, that is not okay, I don't feel comfortable with that, then it's probably not a good idea. Or if you know you're going to end up waking up hungover the next morning, probably not the best thing. It's about being responsible. It's about being a grown-up, which a lot of people, it's like, well, duh, be a grown-up. But if you look at culture nowadays, if you look at society, if you look at social media, maturity is nowhere to be found. It really isn't. Next point, authority. I can express authority by enforcing the rules I have set for my life and not allowing myself to settle for less. Yes. We're going back to the rules, right? Asking yourself at the time, is this the best decision? Okay, not saying that as a divine masculine you can't have fun. We're not only down here to learn lessons and to inspire and motivate others to be our best self. We're here to have fun, right? Sometimes we got to let some steam off. And expressing your thought, saying, okay, I'm going to go out with my friends. I'm going to have maybe a couple of drinks, but I'm not going to get drunk or hammered or whatever it is, right? And using your authority even to the point where your friend's like, oh, have another drink, and you're like, or have another hit or whatever, and you're like, oh, that little voice is telling you, oh, I really shouldn't. I think I've had enough already. Being able to say, you know what, I'm good, thank you. I think I'm good for the night, but I'm still gonna hang out and have a good time with you guys. Your real friends will say, okay, that's cool. As long as you're gonna hang out with us and we can still have a good time, of course. You'll find out who your real friends are, because it's the people who aren't your real friends who are like, man, you're boring. You're a Debbie Downer. You know what? Why don't you just go home? Okay, then you know who your friends are, right? So the next point is strength. I can express strength by putting myself first and not allowing anyone to undermine my needs. This loops in with authority, right? I was just talking about your friends. Putting yourself first, thinking, is this the best decision for my life? Is this the best decision for my family, for my career? Okay, is doing this going to jeopardize my family or career in any way? And if you tell yourself, oh, my partner isn't going to like this, but you know what? I want to do it anyway. I'm an adult. I can do whatever I want. That's toxic masculinity. Okay? That is, and when I say setting rules, I'm not saying my rule is I'm going to go out and I'm going to have a good time with my friends and I'm going to drink as much as I want. Okay, no, that's immaturity. That's not divine masculinity. That's toxic masculinity. Okay? Saying, the alpha male community, toxic. There's nothing divine about them. They're toxic. Okay? Saying my rule is I'm going to go out and I'm going to do whatever I want and I'm going to drink as much as I want, or I'm going to whatever as much as I want because I'm the breadwinner and I'm the man and I have no. We're not doing that. That is not an expression of divine feminine, masculinity. Just like when I talked about the divine feminine and toxic, I did the video on toxic femininity. The whole, I want to be taken care of by a man, and I want to be taken care of by a man, And I don't have to do anything. Just my mere presence, okay, it is enough. I don't need to cook or clean or take it. No, just my mere presence is enough. Because we have this sugar daddy culture, sugar baby culture. Like, men pay you just for the honor of your presence. And so they think all men are like that. All masculines are like that. Oh, I just have to be present in your life, and you can just pay all my bills and spoil me. No. Okay? Just because you're the divine masculine does not mean you can make up rules that would end up detrimental to your career and your family. Okay? You as a masculine have the authority and the strength to set the rules that will make your home, family, and career top of the ladder, right? You have a choice. Do I want to set rules and enforce rules that will allow myself and my family to be at our best? Or do I want to set rules and have authority over the rules I set that puts only me first and what I want to do? And because my family, I'm supporting my family and I'm the masculine in the house, I can do whatever I want. Do as I say, not as I do. Okay? We have power is the next one. I can embody power by taking the initiative to work towards things I value. Yes. Typically as masculines, I'm going to say we, because I have a lot of masculine energy in my chart. So typically when we're embodying our masculine energy, we are things we value. We work towards, let's say we go to university and we work towards a degree because it's something that we've always wanted to do, whether it's like a marine biologist or a lawyer or a doctor or whatever. That's something we value. Taking the initiative to work towards the things we value. A nice house, a nice car, a beautiful family, kids, whatever it happens to be. Okay, taking the initiative. When I come up with an idea or a project I want to do, I take the initiative to start researching, to start planning, to start writing things out so that I can move towards something I value. Okay? We have firm, deliberate action. I can embody firm, deliberate action by not allowing anything to become an obstacle or distraction for me. Again, we were talking about going out with your friends. Thank you, my love. We were talking about, even if you don't go out with your friends, even if you come home and like my dad used to come home from a long day at work and he have his scotch and 7-Ups. I think it was like scotch and 7-Up. He would have it every night, but he would just drink until he was inebriated. Okay, I'm talking about not doing that. Okay, if you want to come home, have like a drink, nobody's saying you can't do that. But it's a sense of self-monitoring. Okay, asking yourself, can I stop after one drink? Can I stop maybe after 2 if you want? Okay, and if you find that you cannot stop, and that if you find that after you have maybe a couple of drinks and you're just really like itching for another one, that's when you know that maybe you shouldn't drink. Okay, because that's how I was. I'm a recovering alcoholic. I've been sober for almost 3 years. I realized that I couldn't stop at one drink. I would need to drink until I either blacked out or passed out. So I'm like, I'm better off just not having a drink at all. Okay? Because having a drink would be pushing a snowball down the hill, and it rolls and rolls and rolls and gets bigger until it takes out an entire village. And I didn't want to take out any more villages, so I'm like, I'm not going to drink anymore. Okay? When you come upon a situation, asking yourselves, is this an obstacle to me? Is this an obstacle to me? Okay. Or a distraction to me? And if it is, it's about having the strength to say, no, thank you, I'm fine. Oh, I've had enough, thank you. Even if people around you are saying, oh, come on, you're a lightweight, you're a weenie, you're this, you're that, saying, I guess I am, but, I know my stopping point, and I'm good. Okay, again, you'll find out who your real friends are. And maybe you'll end up inspiring one of them, right? And going like, yeah, you know what? I'm good too. We can have fun without getting completely hammered. So next point, mentor. I can embody mentorship by becoming a good role model for those who look up to me. Yes, especially children. Okay, especially when we have children. Even if you say, well, I don't have children, saying, the people around me, maybe you have nieces and nephews, and maybe you have grandchildren, being a good role model for them. Okay, especially, in the sense of consuming substances around those you wish to have look up to you, those who you have wish to be a mentor to, not making the decisions that could have them look at you and think that's okay. It's like the what would Jesus do thing, but not about Jesus. Let's say let's say you have a child named Timmy. What would, if I come home drunk, how would I feel if one day Timmy came home drunk? You probably wouldn't like it, huh? Even if he was of age to drink, you'd just be like, what the hell is wrong with you? So you need to look at, is this a practice I would like to see reflected in this person that I wish to be a mentor to, that I wish to be a role model to? Okay. Next one, leadership. Kind of the same thing, right? I embody leadership by paving the way over following others, being the leader, taking initiative. Okay. Having the strength to say, I'm good. I'm not doing that. Because people, whether you have kids or not, people are always looking at you. There are people out there who you may not even know look up to you as a masculine. Okay? And a lot of times we hear a lot of stories about masculine figures in people's life, father figures in people's life. And they say, I really looked up to him. I really saw this person as a mentor, and they really let me down. Now, I can't trust anybody. I can't look up to anybody because I never know who's going to let me down. I mean, that's really sad. Okay, there's a lot of times where someone's father or masculine in the relationship, someone they look up to, screws up so much, but they look up to the neighbor. Anyone who's seen the Simpsons movie, everyone knows that Homer's a doofus, but Bart, it kind of looks up to Flanders, right? Flanders is such a loving, caring, devoted father. And instead of looking up to his own father, he looks up to Flanders. Because Flanders is a good role model and sets a better example. Passion. I can embody passion by following my dreams and overcoming obstacles. Yes. We have firm, deliberate action, and then we have maturity, or passion. Firm, deliberate action and passion. Following your dreams and overcoming obstacles. We were talking about if you want, whatever it is that you want to be, whether you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, a tradesman, a plumber, whatever it is, it's saying, you know what, this is something I really, really want to do, and I'm going to take the firm, deliberate action to do it. I'm going to follow my dreams and overcome any obstacles. Because when we're doing something we love, when we are doing something that we're really passionate about, we tend to overcome a lot of obstacles, and that's why people don't do what they dream. Because they're like, well, I have all of these obstacles. Well, that's a test. Okay? Because a lot of people, when you're doing what you love, people are going to try to bring you down. Obstacles are going to get in the way. And for those of you who believe in it, the universe is going to try to stop you. The universe is testing your strength to see how well you're able to overcome obstacles that get into your path. Okay? Next one is maturity. I can express maturity by seeing both sides of an issue and making the best decision in line with my highest self. Yes. Again, we'll go back to the partying thing. Okay? Hey, do you want to come? Hey, do you want to come out with us? We're going to go out. We're going to go have a few drinks and relax. Okay. Then it comes to a point where you've had a couple drinks and you're like, oh man, you know, I think I've had enough. And your friend's like, hey, let's have a shot. Let's do this. Let's have another hit. And inside you're really like, oh man, no, I'm good. I'm good. It's at that point having the maturity to say, this is not, I really don't need any more. Okay. Yes, thinking about what's best for your higher self. A lot of people are like, well, that's no fun. But you have to look at it this way. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying you can't go out and have fun, of course. But of course you can. But you're a grown-up, right? You're an adult. You have a job or a career, maybe a family. Okay, you're not a child who is like you're not someone's child anymore. You're a grown-up. And yes, it's okay to have fun, but it's a case of having fun in a mature way and being able to say, okay, I have a decision in front of me, pros and cons of this side, pros and cons of that side. Okay, making it a decision to buy a car. Okay, do I want the Lamborghini or do I want the Volvo? Okay, well, pros and cons. Pros of Lamborghini, it's awesome, it's cool, it'll get me a lot of attention. But cons, it costs an arm and a leg. It's going to cost an arm and a leg to fix. It's a little fragile, I think, those type of cars. Well, then we have the Volvo. Okay, Volvo has a high safety rating. It's more affordable. I can take my family in it and know that we're safe. Okay, weighing those, which is more important to you? The Lamborghini, Volvo. And if you answered Lamborghini, maybe if you're single and don't have any other responsibilities except going to work, then sure. Okay? But when it comes to having that Lamborghini, it's also about considering everyone else on the road. People buy Lamborghinis and they go 80 in a 30. You're going to kill somebody. It's can I take this Lamborghini, this sports car, whatever, and be responsible on the road? A lot of masculines are like, no, I'm going to break the land speed record. You can't do that in the school district, okay? You got to be responsible. So next one is success. I can embody success by putting in the work to achieve my goals. Yes, again, and it's very redundant, isn't it? It's the same thing over and over. I can embody success by putting in work to achieve my goals. Yes, we look at actors, musicians, millionaires and billionaires, and we're like, man, and we say, man, they're lucky, they got their break, they got, you know, and we make excuses for why they're so successful. But if you go back in the history of the actor, Brad Pitt used to put on a chicken suit and hand out chicken coupons. Okay? The putting in the work to achieve his goal of being an actor. Now, a lot of times, the road to success is badly paved. Okay, there's potholes and cracks and tumbleweeds and all kinds of stuff. However, you can take the dirt road, the untraveled dirt road to your passion, your goal, or you can take the super highway to something that's not your goal, but it's good enough. Okay. Once you traverse that unwalked road, you're going to get to your goal and you're like, man, that was a hard road to get here, but I'm here now and it was worth it. Okay? Yeah, what was it called? The untraveled road or something like that. But it's worth it in the end. Like, for where I am now, was it easy to get to where I am now? No. Okay, but was it worth it? Absolutely. If I could go back, would I do it again? Absolutely. Okay, there's a lot of, when we look at a lot of people who are like wealthy, like especially their kids, they're entitled, right? And they're selfish, and because they're born, you know, and it's like they suddenly have a $100 million trust fund. Okay, it's like, here's $100 million. Go crazy. Well, where are they going to learn the value of a dollar? Where are they going to learn that it takes work? Okay, a lot of these kids, they run out of money, and they're like, okay, and then they go on social media and beg for money because they don't know how to work. They don't know the value of a dollar. We have people on social media out there who are like, there are people on social media out there who look like they live this lavish lifestyle, but in fact, they don't. Like, I think there was one female influencer. She took a video like she was in first class. Oh, I'm traveling first class. Well, someone else took a picture of her sitting in coach. You know, we have these sets set up where of like private planes and fancy cars where you can go and take selfies. Oh, look at my car. Oh, I'm on a private plane. But in reality, they can barely afford coach. You know, they are taking the superhighway. Okay? However, if they make it big, they're not going to appreciate it because they faked their way there. Okay? It's those that start from nothing and say, I'm going to climb this mountain. Okay? I'm not taking a rocket to the top of the mountain. I'm climbing the mountain. And then when they get to the top, their goal, what they've achieved, becomes something that they value. And they treat it with respect and appreciation because of how much work it took to get there. Okay? Another example, lottery winners. How many stories out there are of lottery winners who win $300 million and it's gone in a few years? They were handed that money and said, here you go. Congratulations. And they just spend it all. Because they didn't work for that money, they can't appreciate it and value it. And that's why it goes so quickly. Oh, I want to buy a Lamborghini, I want to buy a mansion, I want to buy a plane, and I want to buy this and I want to buy that. Like the money is going to go out of style. Okay? So, success putting in the work to achieve your goal, so that when you get to your goal, you are not just humble, but you're appreciative, and you see how valuable this goal is. Next one is control of emotions. I can express control of my emotions by not getting defensive or allowing negative emotion to take over. Yeah. We're in an age of Karens and Kevins, right? Or Keith or Craig or whatever the name for male Karens are. And if your name is Karen, I apologize. I'm not, if your name is Karen, then I'm not trying to say that, okay, it's just a happenstance that your name happens to be Karen. But that's the only way I can think of describing Karens. Anyway, controlling your emotions, not getting defensive or allowing negative emotion take over. So I was talking about the partying, right? And you saying, oh, no, I'm good. I'll still hang out with you guys, but I'm done drinking or whatever, doing whatever. I want to at least keep a semi-clear head. And they're like, oh, you're a weenie, you're a lightweight, you're this or that. That is where the that's where the control of emotion comes in. Okay? And not getting defensive and not getting all mad and negative and like, man, screw you, I'm leaving, because that is, misery loves company, right? Look at the rage bait that's online right now. Misery loves company. Okay? Controlling your emotions. I know sometimes it's hard. To control our emotions, but it's a sign of maturity that we're not going to get defensive or angry because we're not going to get defensive or angry because we're feeding into someone else's negativity. Okay, sometimes the best thing you can do is not let it affect you. I watched this channel called The Click, and he does a lot of like Reddit, TikTok stuff, like reactions to that stuff. And there was one thing on Reddit he read where this guy was working in the butcher section of the grocery store, the meat cutting, and he has long hair that he has to tie back in a ponytail when he's working, a low ponytail when he's working. And he says that this boomer, or someone from a boomer generation came up and said, excuse me, ma'am. And he turns around and he's like, yes. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, sir or ma'am. Trying to get a rise out of this employee. And instead of getting defensive or angry, the guy was just like, oh, either way, it doesn't offend me. And it was actually the older gentleman who got really offended. Well, it should offend you. And he throws down his basket and walks out of the store. Okay, it's that control of emotion that it drove that old guy away. Because he's like, what? I can't get under your skin? Well, I'm going to go find someone whose skin I can get under. Okay? Controlling your emotions. Being level-headed, being logical, that is your position as a divine masculine. It's the feminine side, that's the emotional side, not the masculine. Okay? So the next one we have is balance of emotion and logic. I can balance my emotion and logic by acknowledging any negative reactive emotion and taking a moment to breathe. Yes. If someone says something to you that triggers you, you have the right to just stop for a second, take a deep breath, and say, I'm not going to react to this. Okay? This person triggered me, okay. However, instead of lashing out control of emotion. I'm going to control my emotions. I'm going to respond appropriately and maturely, and I'm going to walk away. Okay? Balancing emotion and logic and saying, would getting emotional in this moment be positive for my case or detrimental to my case? And if it's detrimental to my case, I am going to react with maturity. Okay? We have, next one is diplomacy. I can express diplomacy by dealing with others with sensitivity and understanding. Yes. This goes along with maturity, right? Let's say you are driving down the road and you accidentally rear end someone, and they get out of the car and they're huffing and puffing and, you hit my car, you bleepity bleep, you're and bleep 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 bleep, I'm gonna kick your bleep, you know. Instead of getting out and saying, all right, come on, let's go, being like, okay, sir or ma'am, or whoever, let's step back and take a breath here. Okay, let me explain my side. I apologize, I was distracted, or this happened or that happened. It's fully my fault. I accept responsibility for this. Let's exchange information and I'll make sure your damage is taken care of. Okay? Diplomacy, sensitivity, and understanding. Because that man is mad. Yeah, if you're like sitting at a stop sign or whatever and someone rear ends you, wouldn't you be mad? You'd probably be like, what the F are you doing? Aren't you effing paying attention? Maybe beep, 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 beep. However, it's a matter of saying, okay, I understand this person is angry because I wasn't paying attention and I rear-ended them. Okay, I understand that I understand they're emotional. However, I'm not going to react to that. I'm not going to fuel their emotion. I'm not going to allow their negative emotions to become contagious. And I'm not going to catch that because it could end up in a fist fight, right? And then you both go to jail. So we have 4 more points to go. And this thing is falling down. Maturity, right? It's the same thing as maturity. Logic. It's the same thing of balancing emotion and logic. Okay? But however, just like I say, don't rule with emotion, don't rule with pure logic. Don't be a sop, but don't be just a cold a-hole either. Okay? Let's go with the car accident thing. Okay? Both sides saying, I can see this person's side. They're upset that they got rear-ended. They could be going somewhere important. Now they're going to be late. And on my side, I wasn't paying attention, or this happened or that happened, and I hit them. Okay? Taking both sides of an issue, working it out, and then making a decision based on the absolute facts. Not emotion, not, oh, I'm just going to say this just to keep them quiet. No. Saying, this is the decision I'm making because facts. Like with the car accident. It's my fault. I wasn't paying attention. I hit you. That's a fact. So, and if that person that doesn't like the fact that you're not getting so emotional, it's about saying, well, aren't you? No, it's about saying, I understand that you are upset. You're frustrated. Nobody likes to be rear-ended. I understand where you're coming from, but I don't think it would be a good idea for there to be two negatively charged people. Okay? You can say that. They might get offended. Are you calling me emotional? I mean, if the shoe fits. But It's about saying, let's have a level head here. Okay, logic. Next one, intelligence. I can express intelligence by using my ability to get the knowledge I need to make the best decision. This is resourcefulness. Okay, especially on social media, we see a lot of stuff that people, it's like, did you even do any research? Like when I was sick, when I had end-stage liver disease, I had a friend who would continuously be spouting things at me from Google. And I'm like, well, no, that's not correct. This is what's going on with me, this and this and this. Well, Google says, did you get your medical degree from Google? Okay. Google is not an accredited medical school. I'm going through the illness. I'm not your patient. Okay, yeah, that's me getting defensive. But at the time, I was in pain. I was sick all the time. I was... So, yeah, it's resourcefulness, right? I was talking about how online there's a lot of misinformation because people just think Google is oh, I found it on Google, it's true. Not necessarily. There's a lot of misinformation. But it's about using your ability to get the knowledge you need to make the best decision. Okay? If you need a second opinion, third opinion, if you're like, well, I need to, I can't let's say you have two jobs, right? Two job offers. One is at company A and one is at company B. And they're both like equally, like the offerings are pretty equal. And you're like, man, which company should I choose? And it's about saying, okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to research company B. I'm going to research company A. And then I'm going to make the best decision based on what I see. Okay? As a divine masculine, it's very logic-based, decision-based. Because as a masculine, you're making decisions not just for yourself, but for your family too. What is the best decision for my family? Okay. Intelligence doesn't necessarily mean like book smarts. Okay. Because there's people who are street smart, like they have general knowledge, like they're intelligent. Like you could say, well, they're intelligent, like they make good sound decisions, right? But you put them in a classroom and forget it. But yeah, intelligence, emotional intelligence, mental intelligence, not necessarily. Having a degree doesn't necessarily mean squat, especially nowadays. Okay? A degree is good if you want to get licensed in something, like being a doctor or a lawyer, or like going to school to get a degree in English. You want to be an English teacher. Okay, those are jobs. Those are careers where you need a degree. But a lot of times people go to college and get degrees and they're working at Walmart. Okay? It's about making the best decision. If you're like, you know what? I want to host a podcast. So I'm going to go to college and get a degree in communications. Well, do you really need that degree in communications to be able to start a podcast? No. You're going to be like, I spent all this money on this communication degree and look at all these big podcast hosts and hostesses who haven't gone past, high school, and they have amazing podcasts. Yeah. I mean, for me, I got a diploma as a computer technician or network technician, and one as a paralegal. Okay, I'm not doing either. Other than that, I don't have any formal college, like university type stuff. But I think I'm intelligent regardless. So next one is security. I can express security by I can express security by learning self-love and not comparing myself to others. Yes, especially in today's age of social media. You see people on social media, especially when we're going to talk about masculines, about men, mostly. You see men online and ooh, they have all these muscles and the abs and this and that. And you see this picture of them and you're like, oh man, I wish I could look like that. And then you see them in person, you're like, what? You know, Photoshop, right? When you see, we were talking about like fitness models and especially when it comes to like that whole alpha male community, oh, you have to be ripped and you have to have a six pack and you have to be this and you have to be that to be a real man. No, you don't. Okay, it doesn't. What people, especially masculines, don't realize is it's not about appearances. You could be overweight. You could have a dad body. You could. It doesn't matter if you're Arnold Schwarzenegger or if you're Danny DeVito. It doesn't make a difference. Okay. It's about saying, you know what? Yeah, that person has a very nice physique. You know. It's something that if I had that physique, would I be happy? Yes. Okay. But I have to make the decision. Am I willing to put in the work to achieve that? Or am I happy where I'm at? You know, I look at women who have these amazing bodies and I'm like, oh, I would love to look like that. But then I look at myself and I know that I can't look like that. So it's about enhancing what I do love about myself. Okay? I love my skin color. I love my face. I think I have a nice build. I have a nice hourglass shape. Is it perfect? No. But nobody is. And anyone who looks perfect on the internet is probably photoshopped. Yes.
Should I install the game?
Let me see. Okay? It's about taking those features of yourself and enhancing them. You know, if you're someone who doesn't wear makeup, just looking at yourself in the mirror.
I'm sorry.
And saying, you know what? My physique may not be perfect, but my eyes are great. I have great hair. I have broad shoulders. I have this. I have that. It's like me looking at myself. Okay, my body, I have so much loose skin from all the weight that I've lost. I mean, which you can see here in my arms, right? But it's like, you know, yeah, it is what it is. I have old lady bingo arms. That's just how it is. However, instead of focusing on that, I could focus on other things that I find beautiful about myself. Okay, or find what is attractive about you. What are your strengths? What makes you you know, when you look at yourself in the mirror, where are you drawn positively? And I am doing a video next Friday about what it takes to cultivate self-love. Okay? And as masculines, you don't need to look at, self-love as something feminine. And be like, oh, no, you know, that's girl stuff. No, don't do that. That's toxic feminine or toxic masculinity. Okay? We all carry a certain amount of masculine and feminine. Like for me, I identify as the divine feminine. My sun sign is a feminine sign, Capricorn. However, I have a lot more masculine energy in my chart than feminine. Okay, I identify as the divine feminine. You don't. If you are, let's say, physically male, you could still identify as a divine feminine based on your chart. Okay, that doesn't mean that you're homosexual or that you're effeminate or anything like that. No, it has nothing to do with that. Okay, I mean, a lot of feminines would love, would love when masculines embody their feminine side because they can tap into their emotions, okay? And say, and be able to say, you know what, I'm sad, and that's okay. You know, something happens, and as a masculine, you're like, I want to cry, but I don't want to seem weak. There's nothing weak about crying. Crying shows strength, not weakness, okay? It's about chilling out. No one's going to think badly of you if you behave like a human being, okay? Last one, stability. I can embody stability by knowing and using all of my available resources to achieve my goals. Yes. Whether your goal is to get married, to have kids, to buy a house, to buy a car, whatever it is. Stability. Remember the Volvo and the Lamborghini? Okay, saying, okay, I have a choice between this Lamborghini and this Volvo. I need to sit down. Is the Lamborghini plausible when it comes to my family, to my bank account? Okay, is that something practical? Probably not, right? But this car is practical. A lot of people have like a family car and their like play car that they go out and they, you know, scoot about town with. But it's about looking at your stability first and saying, okay, is this a practical choice at the moment? The Lamborghini will always be there, okay? I can always save up and eventually maybe someday be able to have my Lamborghini, but for now I need to create stability for myself, for my family, for my job, for whatever it is. Okay, so that was the video on embodying the divine masculine. Like I said, next week I'm going to be doing Taurus love compatibility and also how to attract a Taurus. Next Friday I'm going to be doing a video on how to embody self-love. And then the Friday after that, I'm going to be doing a video on self-sabotaging behavior, what it is, how to identify it, and how to move past it. So all of my information is down below. My services, again, my books right now, I don't have them listed below, but I have 4 of them, and they are free. So if you would like a copy of one of my books, please email me, and I will send you a copy for free. I have my life story, my uncle's story of growing up near Berlin during World War II. I have a book on healing, the healing process, and I have a book on how to embody self-love. So have a beautiful weekend, have a beautiful week, month, year, life. Remember to spread love, joy, compassion, gratitude, and kindness, and I will see you next time.